Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Enhanced Edition, where today I am putting myself on the chopping block once again by showing off a custom paint job. And unlike Studio Series Ironhide, this one's a bit more extensive, a bit more obvious in places, and also probably a bit sloppier in places. But it's animated Arcee. I love animated Arcee, and I really wanted to do this, so I did. And I'm probably going to end up making more changes in the future at some point, but for now, this is kind of what I'm going with. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of the details that were changed, I want to say a lot of the changes that I made to this were based off of Vangelis's video for Transformers Animated Arcee, where he talked about certain enhancements that he made to the colors to kind of help things along. I will point out specifically what I can recall that was taken from his video. So just saying that, this isn't 100% my idea. I did take some of these from tips that Vangelis put out there. I did add a little bit more myself. Not saying I'm the first person who did it, but I did make some other changes that weren't in Vangelis's video is all I'm saying. Also, I actually went and found reference photos to try and get the coloration as best I could. And of course, that's where I started to realize where there was a lot of animation inaccuracies in terms of the robot mode and stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. And I think what I got ended up actually working out pretty well, but you all can be the judge of that. So, not a whole lot is immediately visible as different in the vehicle mode. Really, the only changes that are immediately noticeable are the wings up here, this section here, and this section down here. And that's because I did some panel lining. So you can see there is some panel lining on these lines for the wings here, which I like this. It makes those details stand out a little bit more. Also up in here behind the cockpit, driver's seat, whatever that is, it just pulls those details out a little bit better. It may not necessarily gel with the animated aesthetic, but I like it. And then along here, same deal, more panel lining on both sides. But the other thing that I did that's actually painting and not just panel lining, which I'm going to try to get this out of the way so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I actually painted, these are the bottoms of her feet, and these are, I can't remember if they were black or pink. I think they were just pink. And I ended up painting them white because when you have everything closed up, it sort of melds with everything that's going on in here, and it makes it less obvious that there's some stuff going on in there. So I kind of like how this works, where it doesn't enhance things per se, but it masks some of that gappiness that's in there a little bit. I might go in there and touch it up a little bit more, maybe get into the cracks a little bit, but that's where we're at. That's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Not a whole lot has changed there, but there has been some stuff. And I have been toying with the idea of going in and doing the wheels, but I don't think it's necessary because the wheels are such a small feature on this thing. Like, you don't really notice them anyway because they're just so tiny and out of the way and kind of covered in most places. But yeah, that is where we're at. So, moving along to robot mode, here I can show off more of the changes and stuff that I'm generally kind of proud of. Not saying that I'm particularly good at this. It's all sloppy and amateurish, and I know there's more that I could do, and there's a lot of stuff I could have done better, but I personally really like how it all came together here. There are a lot of little things that complete the look of the figure for me, which I very much like. Starting from the bottom, I painted the tops of the feet white. And I kind of want to go in there maybe and paint those because I'm not a fan of those gaps on top. It's not hugely distracting, but at the very least, I feel like I could probably get it a little cleaner in there. But yeah, that helps a bit, I think. I also painted these joints around the knees white, and it also looks a little sloppy and blotchy, but I actually really like how that works. It adds just a little bit more color in there because this is a whole lot of pink going on in here, and that breaks it up just a little bit. It's a worthwhile detail to paint, I think. For the waist, I did a little bit of panel lining on the belt there, and also the hip pieces are still panel lined, and I think that enhances things as well. Did a little bit of panel lining in the sternum section there, to kind of go along with what's going on here and on the backs of the fins. Also, these bits here, this little, like turn this, you can see that little black triangle right there, that is not painted in the figure normally, so it ends up kind of looking incomplete because you have this black stomach and then it just goes into the pink plastic there. So I painted that black in an effort to make it kind of look a little bit more cohesive, and I definitely like how that works out. I know what I probably should do is go in and paint the rest of this black, because the rest of her torso is black around there, but for now I think this works just fine. At the very least, it looks almost intentional how there's that line going up the front there, or side, so I'm okay with that. I also added a Reaper label for the Autobot logo. It's not entirely centered, but it's okay. This I needed to add because the logo that was there was really sad. It was really faded looking. It was too close of a shade to the, not the same color as the pink plastic there, but it was just kind of a similar tone, so it blended in a little bit and looked a little bit muddy. This is a lot sharper and stands out a lot better. And for the hands, this was something that I took from Vangelis. It was painting the fingers white and doing a little bit of black around the edges there. I don't remember if he did the black or not, but I definitely like how that looks. And I also made sure to I tried not to get the insides of the hands because that's where the swords are going to plug in, and I didn't want the paint to start wearing off. So I just left those pink, but I really like how that adds more color to the hands, and it works in conjunction really well with like the rest of the black and white throughout the figure. It is sloppy. It could definitely do with a cleaner, steadier hand, but I still like how that breaks things up. I wish I could have done more in the elbows here, but just because of the way the toy is designed, there really wasn't much I could do. The forearms, I believe, were black out of the box, so that's not me. But these shoulders were white, like entirely white, which is fine, but they're actually supposed to be white around the outside and then black. And again, I really like that because that again ties into the whole white and black with pink that's going on throughout the entire figure. And it's a simple thing to change, but I like it very much. Now, the collar and neck. Did some panel lining on the collar there. This bit is white. The collar going around the back here, that was originally just that pink plastic, and that kind of bugged me because it didn't look complete. So just painted it white to make it look like the collar goes all the way around, which it should, and it does, but it just didn't look like it. So I did that. It doesn't match with this white perfectly, but it's fine at a glance. I think it's okay. And this was another page that I took from Vangelis, painted the neck black because it's supposed to be, and that also looks so much better. So much better. At least better than the pink. I did leave the ball joint unpainted because it's the ball joint, and I figured, I'd rather not have to worry about the paint rubbing off than anything else. And I did some more panel lining up in the top there. I need to clean that up. And on the sides there. And also, as per Vangelis' suggestion, I took the head apart and painted black around the rings of the eyes, which looks great. And I put a little bit of red on the lips. I was a little hesitant to at first, but I did, and I actually really like how that helps the rest of the face work better, because it kind of looked like a mouth plate with a bump on it when it was just one color. That red is not perfectly on the lips, though. I need to go back in there and kind of get a little bit more of a uniform coating. But yeah, overall, I really, really like how these colors have enhanced the figure. It's something that I kind of wish I had done sooner, but I'm glad I did it. And I also kind of wish I was better at it so that it looked cleaner and I could possibly do more cool stuff with it. But as it is, I think it's fine, and I do really, really like it. And I think just looking at it like this, it makes those imperfections a lot harder to see. And again, it makes the figure look more complete. Not to say that I think the figure was bad without the paint, but it really enhances things a lot. And I'm super, super duper glad I did this. I kind of wanted to go in and paint the swords as well, but I didn't because with them going in and out of the sheaths, I was thinking the paint might rub and I just didn't want to deal with that. But hey, I will be keeping this figure forever, so there will always be time to go in and make changes. That being said, I think that is going to do it for Transformers Animated Arcee and my really amateurish custom paint job. But I still maintain, I think that amateurish though it might be, I think those small bits of enhancements here and there really pull everything together. But enough tooting my own horn. Thank you everybody for watching. I do still have some other custom paint jobs that I want to show off / critique. And I also actually have a lot of Reaper Labels sets that I still haven't gone over, so it'll happen. Who knows, I might end up with as many of these videos as I have of figure study videos at some point.